Hello Real Estate, my name is George Ryan Sarmago, Unit Manager for Filipino Homes, and if this is your first time this channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified for any future videos that will be coming up from this channel. And today we'll be discussing one of the most frequently asked questions by our buyers in the real estate industry. Should they buy a house or a condominium? Now this is a very important question and would most probably depend on the purpose of their buying and their preference. Now for people who are working in the city, they might prefer a condominium that is located in their place of work, or if you have kids that are going to school, you would rather have a condominium that is near their school. But for family-oriented people that would require larger space for their family, they would certainly look for a house. And you know, when you check online, the arguments remain the same. People would buy a condominium because of the location, because of the amenities, and because of the security. And people would buy a house because of larger space, it's affordable, and you know, they have the freedom to own pets. Now, what if I tell you that good developers have found a way that combine these features in one? Are you ready? Now, I call this hybrid living, and developers call this mixed-use development. In my previous video about double M towers, I mentioned there that mixed-use development is the future of condominiums. So what exactly is a mixed-use development? In an article published by urbanhub.com, they say that today no planner can get away with simply designing a standalone office in a residential building. The mixed-use building not only sustainably utilizes resources and previous space, but also provides inhabitants with neighborhood that integrate work, home, shopping, transportation, and even green spaces. Now, the recent COVID-19 pandemic is a great eye-opener for real estate planners, emphasizing the need to have an effective workspace with strong internet connection, wide space for social distancing, and the importance of essential services being close to where you are, even without having to commute. And here in Cebu, we have a couple of projects with a mixed-use development component. One is Baseline along Juana Osmeña Street. It's a 3-tower project made up of a condotel and office units and commercial boutiques, restaurants, gym, coffee shop, and a grocery store in the first 2 floors. Then we also have One Astor Center, a 1.23-hectare mixed-use development along AS Fortuna Street in Mandaue City, and it's made up of 4 components: residential units, the Radisson Red Hotel, corporate tower, and commercial and shopping spaces. And if you would want to know more about this project, I will leave the link in the description below. Now, enough about the plugging. Let's see if this mixed-use development justifies as your residential destination for both condo and house lovers. Now, before we begin, let's use the rating yes. It means that the advantage is also present in a mixed-use development. We say somewhat yes if the advantage is not completely present, but the alternative is acceptable, or no, meaning there is no advantage and it's not present in the mixed-use development. So let's go back to the 3 advantages that I mentioned for both condo and houses. For condominiums, the number 1 advantage there is the location. Now we know that mixed-use development is always in a prime location in places near corporate offices, hospitals, schools, and other key establishments. But what is even great about this project is that it can create a market of its own. Its component of shopping malls and corporate office create a residential need, giving an added boost in investment. Now get this, residents can also operate small businesses on the ground floor of the building where they live. And our verdict, it's yes, meaning mixed-use development also has this advantage from a location perspective. Now let's move on to the security. For sure, no one can follow you on your doorstep because of security, even at the lobby. Factor in CCTV in hallways, it makes you feel safe right away. Verdict, yes, they also have that advantage in a mixed-use development. Now let's talk about the last one, which is the amenities. Mixed-use development offers a lot of amenity, actually more than an average condo and more than an average subdivision. You will have bigger pools, wider open spaces, more coffee shops and restaurants, free Wi-Fi and amenity area, gym rooms, and sky decks. The verdict? Yes, mixed-use development has these advantages as well, and actually even more. Now let's talk about the advantages of owning a house. Advantage number one is houses have bigger spaces. Now, while buying a unit in a mixed-use development is still either a studio, one bedroom, or even a two bedroom, you actually have more spaces available for you. Example, in one Astor Place, you are not just contained in a vertical living, but you have more options to move sidewards. Living in a mixed-use development adds excitement and variety to your lifestyle. Verdict? I would say somewhat yes. They have the advantage, but it does not fully replicate the bigger space that you will have in owning a house. But the alternative is acceptable. Now let's talk about affordability. While houses will always be traditionally affordable per square meters, but the value, not the price of the per square meter in a mixed-use development is so much higher. If you are price conscious, buy a unit at pre-selling prices. It's much affordable than a delivered unit, and besides, monthly equity of a condo unit is way lower than the monthly equity of a house. And our verdict is somewhat yes, meaning the advantage is not completely replicated but is acceptable. Now we go to the last one, which is owning pets. One of the best parts of owning a house is that you are not limited to owning pets. If you are a responsible owner, you should be good to go. But this is no longer exclusive to houses, as developers have made owning small pets a possibility. And if this is a deal breaker for you, ask your real estate agent first if this is allowed before committing. Our verdict, which is somewhat yes, it is the advantage that we can replicate in a mixed-use development, and it is acceptable. Now, whether my justifications are enough for you to consider a mixed-use development over a regular condominium or a house and lot, we must acknowledge the current situation. And that is number one is traffic is getting worse. You might get an affordable unit in a far location, but you sacrifice time. And then there is the more you delay in buying a property, the more expensive it will become. And not all good projects will last forever. Because of the strong demand for a property in a good location, there are multiple buyers that might be interested in the property you like. And if you do not get it now, others will. And lastly, I will stick to what I say, that mixed-use development is the future of condominium, and not just condominium but urban living. And the live, work, thrive development in one location is the best option for you if you are actively working, have business on the area, or have kids in the nearby school. And lastly, my message for you is do not compromise time over money. You can recover money, but you can never recover time. And once again, this is George Ryan Sarmago, Unit Manager for Filipino Homes. I hope you enjoy this video today, and thank you for watching. Stay safe and peace.